Hi all, welcome to my channel. If you like original content and want to support me, please do like and subscribe. It is story of a teenage boy in present who suddenly wakes up as an abandoned male concubine of a powerful and dangerous emperor of Qing, how he will adjust to his new life. Will he be able to win emperor's heart? Noah, a 17-year-old high school student in Japan, lost his parents in an accident when he was 10. Since then, he has been living alone, relying on the money left by his parents to complete middle school. To fund his high school education, he works part-time jobs, waking up early to deliver newspapers, attending school, then working in a cafe until 9 p.m. He spends his evenings cooking and studying, as he's a scholarship student. Despite his hardships, he never complains and finds solace in cooking. On his birthday, after receiving his salary, he buys meat as a treat for himself. However, it starts raining heavily, and by the time he reaches home, he is drenched and exhausted. After taking a hot bath and cooking some food, he puts the meat in the fridge and goes to sleep. The next morning, he wakes up with a fever, feeling weak and alone. On his birthday, he cries, remembering his parents' accident and wishing they were there to care for him. He murmurs for them to take him to a place where he would be loved. The next day, he wakes up in an unfamiliar place and is greeted by a woman in old-fashioned maid attire, calling him my lord and asking how he feels. Confused, Noah thinks he's part of a variety show, believing the woman is a hired actor and demanding compensation. The maid, not understanding him, leaves to call a physician, thinking he's mad from a fall. As Noah tries to leave the bed in frustration, he looks in the mirror and is shocked by the beautiful face, with long hair and a body that doesn't resemble his own. He questions whether his soul has transferred into this new body and wonders if he's still dreaming. Surprised by the youth of the physician, Noah asked why such a young person was treating him. The maid explained that, as an abandoned male concubine, no experienced royal physicians were willing to help, and this young physician was the only one who came. The physician checked Noah's pulse, assured him there were no physical injuries, but suggested memory issues from a fall. Noah, however, was fixated on the idea of being the emperor's abandoned male concubine, and struggled with the thought of his new situation. He didn't want to live as a concubine to an emperor who knows how he looks, so he decided to escape the palace and live freely. But first, he wanted to learn about the previous owner of the body to see if they had any supportive parents who might help him. He asked the maid, Sua, about his past. Sua explained that Noah's name was Xiao Noah, the son of General Xiao Lei. Noah had been a renowned general with exceptional fighting and martial arts skills. However, he had been made into a concubine after his sister, Xiao Li, eloped with her lover, causing a great scandal. The emperor, Ming, spared the Xiao family on the condition that Noah would become his concubine. Noah's parents had not wanted this, but Noah accepted to save his family. Since then, the emperor had never visited him, leaving him as an abandoned concubine. Noah was relieved to know that his parents had loved him, just like his real parents in his previous life. However, he was troubled by his lack of knowledge about this empire and whether escaping from the palace would affect his parents. He felt overwhelmed, so he decided to cook something to eat to relieve his stress. He asked Sua to leave him alone, then set out to find the kitchen. While searching for the kitchen, Noah wandered into a beautiful garden and nearly slipped on a stone, but was caught by a young man with blue eyes, black hair, and pale skin. Surprised by the man's appearance, Noah thanked him and asked if he is working in the palace, as the man's attire was very simple. The man questioned why Noah didn't remember him, and Noah pretended to have memory loss after his fall, apologized and asked who he was. Ming introduced himself as a palace investigation officer, and Noah thought that the name sounded somewhat familiar but didn't remember where he heard it. In gratitude for his help, offered to cook something for him. Ming was skeptical at first, but agreed, especially after Noah claimed to be good at cooking. They went to the kitchen, where Ming ordered the servants to leave. Noah made modern snacks, which Ming loved, and told Noah to prepare them daily from now onwards, and Noah agreed happily. Ming then dropped Noah off near his room. Sua, worried about Noah, was relieved to see him return safely and reminded him to be careful around new people in the palace. Noah assured her he would be cautious. The news of Ming and Noah spending time together spread quickly, causing jealousy among the other concubines, as Ming had previously shown no interest in them. And servants in the palace also began to see Noah in a new light, hoping to earn his favor. Later that night, Ming reflected on the changes in Noah's behavior since the accident. His sharp eyes and pure smile intrigued Ming, and he found himself wanting to spend more time with Noah to learn about the changes in him. Meanwhile, Noah thought about how good-looking and kind Ming was, considering himself lucky to have found such a friend so quickly in the palace. He planned to wait and see what his future in the palace would be, as he continued to disdain the emperor. The next morning, Noah woke up to find his room filled with the emperor's concubines. He was unsure of who they were, so he looked to Sua for help. Sua explained that the concubines had come to visit him now that he had regained consciousness. Noah observed them, noting that all the concubines were beautiful, especially Chen, who appeared innocent, and Wei, who seemed intelligent. However, Noah felt that none of them could compare to his own beauty. Chen was the first to speak, offering Noah fruits and expressing concern about his recovery. Wei followed with a gift of sweets and face powder to help improve his complexion. The other concubines also asked about his health. Unsure of how to respond, Noah thanked them for their concern but said he was still tired and needed rest, signaling them to leave. Once the concubines left, Noah asked Sua why they had visited him. He mentioned that in the historical dramas he had watched, concubines only visited abandoned concubines to cause harm. Sua, not understanding what Noah meant by dramas, was confused but agreed that Noah should be cautious. Noah, suspicious of the sudden attention from the concubines and palace servants, wondered if the emperor had ordered them to feed him well with plans to harm him later or if they were just interested in him because of his beauty. Regardless, he decided to not eat the food given to him. After breakfast, Noah began thinking about Ming and how beautiful he was. Feeling bored in his room, he decided to go for a walk, telling Sua not to follow him. Noah secretly took some money and attempted to leave the palace to explore the outside world, but while walking, he accidentally bumped into a man. Apologizing, Noah noticed the man seemed to know him. Changmin expressed concern for Noah, mentioning that he had heard about the accident and asking how Noah was adjusting to life in the palace. Noah, pretending to have lost his memory, acted confused and sorrowful, claiming he couldn't remember Changmin. The man grabbed Noah's hand and introduced himself as Changmin, the son of the right prime minister. He also revealed he was Noah's childhood friend. They had grown up near each other, and Noah had dreamed of becoming a great general but ended up as a concubine. Changmin expressed regret that Noah had gone through with the marriage despite his advice against it. Changmin has loved Noah but never expressed his feelings, fearing rejection and the loss of their friendship. Noah decided to ask Changmin for help in leaving the palace. After some hesitation, Changmin agreed. He led Noah to a storage room where he met the leader of a dance troupe. Changmin arranged for Noah to wear one of their costumes, a female dancer's outfit, and leave the palace with them. Despite Noah's hesitations, he wore the costume and joined the group. The leader was impressed by Noah's beauty and even offered him a position in the troupe, but Noah declined, not wanting to become a dancer. After leaving the palace, Noah wandered the streets, observing the market, and was almost abducted by a group of men who mistook him for a girl. Changmin intervened and rescued him, and the two continued exploring the market. Changmin, surprised by Noah's change in demeanor, asked if he had forgotten his martial arts skills. Noah admitted he had, likely due to his memory loss. Meanwhile, Ming, who had been watching from a distance, was angered by Changmin's protective actions toward Noah. In the market, Noah excitedly compared what he saw to historical dramas he had watched, expressing a desire to visit tea houses and brothels. Changmin, surprised by Noah's sudden interest in these places, questioned him about the change. Noah shrugged it off, attributing it to the accident. As they entered a tea house, Ming, still observing them, thought about how much Noah had changed and became even more intrigued by him. Noah, after enjoying his visit to a tea house, eagerly wanted to see a brothel but Changmin cautioned against it, worried it could be dangerous for Noah, especially since he was in a lady's costume and had forgotten his fighting skills. Realizing he had made a promise to Ming to cook snacks, Noah agreed to return to the palace. Upon returning, he quickly changed back into his normal clothes with Sua's help and explained everything that had happened. Unbeknownst to Noah, Concubine Wei's attendants saw him entering his room and reported it to Wei. Wei, fearing Noah's beauty would obstruct her path to becoming empress, decided to take action. She informed the emperor that a female dancer had entered Noah's room, hinting at an affair. The emperor, realizing Wei was referring to Noah, grew angry but used this as an opportunity to test whether Noah was truly the person he had been waiting for from several years. His personal eunuch reminded him it was time to visit his private garden. Ming met Noah in the garden later. Noah offered him the snacks, and the two conversed. When Ming asked Noah if he had met anyone outside the palace, Noah lied, admitting he had met a friend but not left the palace. Even though Ming knows Noah wasn't telling the full truth, but Ming didn't expose him. However, after speaking with Ming, Noah has been feeling that he hadn't met Ming before and they were very close to each other, but brushed it off as he thought maybe this body's Noah might be close with Ming. As the story continues, both Noah and Ming harbor their own secrets, setting the stage for future tensions and intrigue. That night, Noah had a strange dream. Noah's dream: Noah was standing behind a tree, observing a man playing beautiful music on his flute, with his eyes closed near a waterfall. The music from the flute had the power to mesmerize anyone. As his eyes were closed, Noah sneaked up to him without making any noise, and kissed him on the cheek. He was about to run away without being caught, but the man grabbed Noah's hand and said, "Noah," before opening his blue eyes and smiling. He hugged Noah tightly and kissed him passionately. End of dream. Noah woke up early the next morning with a worried expression, his mind racing with different thoughts. What the heck was that dream? Why was I kissing Ming in the dream? Maybe it's because I'm at the peak of puberty, but I should have dreamed about a beautiful girl, not Ming. Why Ming? Maybe I like guys. Wait, am I like this because I haven't had my first kiss yet? Yeah, that might be the reason. Since I have no chance of kissing a girl right now, maybe I dreamed about the most beautiful guy in the palace. Wait, this reasoning is terrible. Maybe I dreamed about Ming because he's too handsome and good-looking. For now, I'll convince myself with this terrible reasoning and avoid Ming for a few days. Is it even possible to remember the dream this clearly? I can remember the music, the waterfalls, everything. That's not possible. Maybe this is part of the previous Noah's fantasies. Maybe Noah's soul hasn't completely left this body, and he might have loved Ming. He doesn't want to let go of these fantasies, so he's showing them to me. I think that's more convincing than my previous reasoning. Anyway, for now, it's better to avoid Ming for a few days and focus on yoga and physical exercise. Since I don't have work right now, maybe I'm having weird dreams. Noah started doing some yoga asanas. By the time Sua woke up to call Noah, he was attempting a halasana pose. Sua saw this and, thinking something might have possessed Noah, ran to him, crying, "Young master, why is this happening to you? Just a few days ago, you escaped death, and now someone must have possessed you." Upon hearing this, Noah sat up normally and thought, did Sua find out that I'm not her master? It's better to tell her everything. Sua, I am. Before Noah could finish his sentence, Sua looked at him, relieved, and said, "Master, are you all right? Thank God nothing happened to you. I thought you were possessed by some evil ghost." What evil ghost? Me? I'm not an evil ghost. Wait, I'm not a ghost at all. Noah's thoughts. Sua, don't worry, nothing happened to me. I'm just doing yoga. Yoga? What is that, master? You don't know yoga? It helps keep your body healthy and your mind fresh. You can join me too. Oh, is that so? But the poses look so weird. It would be embarrassing if anyone saw me doing them. Don't worry about those things. Who would come to visit this early in the morning? Come join me, Noah encouraged. Though Sua was unwilling, she joined him reluctantly. At 11 a.m. in the imperial court, Ming was reading some documents when his personal eunuch informed him, "Your Majesty, Minister Changmin has come to see you." "Let him in," Ming responded. Changmin entered and greeted Ming. "Greetings, Emperor. May I know the reason I have been summoned?" "No need to speak so formally with me, Changmin. I think you may have already guessed why I called you," Ming said with a smile. "Sorry to disappoint you, Ming, but I'm not as sharp as you, so I can't guess," Changmin replied. "Alright, I'll say it. Don't you know it's punishable to talk to the Emperor's harem members and take them outside without my permission? Since you're my best friend, I won't punish you this time. But if it happens again, I won't be so lenient," Ming said with seriousness. "I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't spoken with any harem members. I only spoke to my dear friend Noah. I know how you made Noah your concubine by making his sister think you were an evil person. You indirectly made her fall in love with someone else. And just before the wedding, you sent her away with the person she loved. Even though I know all this, since you are my best friend and a good person, I thought Noah would be happy with you and that he wouldn't have to go to the war fields. But I didn't expect you to neglect him, and now he's been in an accident. Now, Noah is like a new person who has lost his memories and doesn't even love you. I don't want to lose him. I'll fight for him fairly. If he chooses me, I'll take him away with me," Changmin said boldly. Upon hearing this, Ming thought, "I didn't know you loved Noah this much. If I had known, I might have given him to you, since I've realized that the old Noah is not the one I've been searching for. But now, it's not possible, as this Noah may be the person I am searching for a century." Ming looked at Changmin and said, "Okay, I won't stop you. You can try to make Noah love you, but if he doesn't love you, or if I find out that I'm in his heart, I won't sit still. Because that means he's my Noah." Ming said this with a burning intensity in his eyes and a smile on his lips, resembling a devil's grin. Noah, after having lunch, slept for some time since he hadn't slept well the previous night due to his dream. By the time he woke up, it was already evening. He wanted to go for a walk, but Noah didn't want to meet Ming today. He was still thinking about his dream and wanted to avoid Ming for a few days. Noah told Sua that he was going for a walk and left without giving Sua a chance to follow him. The imperial palace was large, and without realizing it, time passed quickly as he roamed. This time, he remembered the route he had taken so he could reach his quarters safely. It had already become dark, and as he made his way back to his room, he saw Changmin. Since Changmin had received permission from the emperor to try to make Noah fall for him, it meant he was also allowed to visit Noah's quarters without worry. Changmin was on his way to find Noah's room and was happy to unexpectedly meet him. "Hi, Changmin, how are you?" "Fine, how about you? Are you feeling well now? Did your memories return?" "I'm fine, but I still don't remember anything about my past." "Why are you here, in the area where the emperor's women stay? You should leave before someone finds you." "It's not right for you to be here," Noah said. Changmin replied with a calm expression, "It's fine, Noah. I already have permission from the emperor to visit you whenever I want." He added, "After all, I'm your childhood friend." "That's good. At least I can meet you frequently and pass the time," Noah said, as he remembered his dream and wanted to test whether he was attracted to guys. Without thinking, he hugged Changmin and was relieved when he didn't feel anything. Changmin was shocked by the sudden action, but he felt happy to receive the hug from Noah. To cover up the situation, Noah said, "It's just a friendly hug. I'm happy to hear what you said, so I hugged you." Although Changmin felt somewhat sad by Noah's response, he replied calmly, "Yeah, I know that," and they both started walking toward Noah's place. However, they didn't realize they were being watched by a pair of angry eyes. Ming had waited for Noah at their usual meeting place for a long time, but still hadn't seen him. He was on his way to his room when he saw Noah hugging Changmin. This was the second time they had hugged in front of him, which made him very angry. But Ming didn't act on his feelings. He had already given permission to Changmin, and he still didn't know whether this Noah was the person he had been searching for. He needed to confirm it first, so he quietly went to his room. Since it was already late in the evening, Changmin simply left Noah at his place and said he would visit again tomorrow. Feeling hungry, Noah had dinner early and went to bed. That night, he had the same dream again. When he woke up early, he didn't understand why it had happened again. He hadn't even met Ming the previous day. Wanting some fresh air, he went for a morning walk. By the time Sua woke up, Noah had already returned from his walk. He was now somewhat calm and wanted to find out the reason for his recurring dream. Meanwhile, concubine Chen woke up early to prepare herself to meet Noah as soon as possible. She wanted to tell him about a matter she had learned from her informant. Despite Ming's efforts to eliminate most of her informants, Chen still had a few left in the imperial palace. She said to her maids, "Let's go and help Changmin win Noah over," and went to Noah's house. By the time Chen arrived, Noah was still having breakfast. He thought to himself, "What is this? I didn't have a good sleep, and now I can't even have my breakfast peacefully." However, he smiled without showing his thoughts and said, "Greetings, concubine Chen." "Greetings, concubine Noah. Sorry for disturbing your peaceful breakfast time. I was going for a walk and was near your place, so I thought I'd visit you. As I haven't done so much since you recovered. I hope you don't mind." Noah thought, "Do you think I'm a fool to believe that you just happened to be here?" But he replied calmly, "Thank you for your concern. Did you have breakfast? If not, I'll ask Sua to serve you as well." "I already had, so there's no need to bother." "Then, Sua, please serve them tea," Noah said, and then turned to Chen, waiting for her to speak. "Concubine Noah, you are so beautiful. I feel that no lady even comes close to your looks. No wonder the emperor has schemed to make you his." Chen said, and then quickly covered her mouth with her hand as though she had spoken a taboo word. "What do you mean by scheme? Please explain clearly," Noah asked, his expression a mix of surprise and anger. "Sorry for accidentally blurting that out in front of you. It shouldn't be known to you. But since you're asking me, I'll tell you. As ladies of the emperor, we should not hide secrets from each other. But please don't tell anyone that I told you this. Do you know why your sister left right before the wedding? It's because the emperor arranged for someone to manipulate her and make her wait until just before the wedding. This way, there would be no other option for your family, and His Majesty could easily claim you." After saying this, Chen looked at Noah and continued, "But don't worry, concubine Noah. The emperor did all of this for you, so he'll take very good care of you. Just like how he's taking care of concubine Wei and me," she said in a tone meant to provoke Noah. Noah's face darkened with anger for a moment. But he quickly regained his calm expression so no one would notice. Chen, however, saw this and was pleased with the result. Since her work was done, she took her leave and left. The moment she left, Noah angrily shouted, "You old geezer!" and smashed the flower vase near him with his hand, causing it to bleed. Till now, Noah thought he was the abandoned concubine, so naturally, he believed that the emperor was not interested in him. However, after hearing concubine Chen, his opinion changed. He realized that the emperor had schemed to marry him, surely because the emperor liked him. But Noah didn't want to be loved by that old emperor. Who would feel happy about being schemed into marrying an old man, even if he was an emperor? He thought, if I stay in the palace, I don't know when that emperor will come and ask me to sleep with him. I don't want to sleep with that old geezer. It's better to escape from the palace before that happens. But will he leave me alone? Will I be able to escape? I have to do something about this. Why are my worries increasing day by day here? But still, it wasn't that bad, as he had made new friends, especially Changmin, Sua, and the beautiful and handsome Ming. Without realizing it, he remembered his dream, and his cheeks turned red. What the? Why am I remembering him again? Slapping his cheeks lightly, he muttered. Come to your senses, Noah. Ma. Pa. I asked you to send me to a place where I would be loved by at least one person. But I didn't expect that you would send me to an old geezer. I don't want to stay here. Please send me to my past life. Sua, overhearing him, thought once again that her master was speaking some nonsense as usual. That afternoon, Ming was alone in his room. He was lying on his bed when he suddenly heard a voice, "My dear son Ming, how are you? It's been a long time since I last saw you." Ming was surprised to see his father and felt very happy, as he hadn't seen his father since he was born as the son of the emperor of this land. It had already been 17 years. Ming hugged his father tightly and said, "Father, I missed you a lot. How are you?" "I am fine, dear son. But I came here because I am worried about you. You've been searching for Noah for a long time. More than 100 years. Did you find any clue? Do you need any help from me? You also know that I like Noah and used to treat him like my son. So I always wish that you will find Noah as soon as possible. Thanks for your concern, father. You've already helped me by making me born as emperor of this land. Even though it was a blessing for the previous emperor, I know that it was to help me search for Noah. Since this is my love trail, I don't want to receive any more help from you. Only then can I prove that my love is sincere and pure. Did you find Noah, then?" "I think I have found him. But I don't want to decide rashly and make the same mistake as before. I am going to observe him for a few more days. I don't think you made a mistake by marrying Noah. I believe that because of that marriage, you will find your Noah. Thank you for always helping me when I am in a dilemma. I will keep in mind what you said. So, what are you planning to do once you find Noah? Will you take your duties as my son and successor as head of the gods?" "No, father. I am going to enjoy my 100 years of life here with my love. Even though I find him, it seems that he doesn't remember me. So I will take my time to enjoy my life as a mortal." "Okay. But I'm giving you only these 100 years of time. After that, I won't give even one extra day. I am waiting to pass this burden to you as soon as possible. I don't have much time to spend with you. Don't forget, I will always be by your side. So whenever you need help, don't forget to call me." With that, Ming's father left. Ming lay back on his bed and remembered the first time he met Noah 120 years ago. Ming's father, Jua, was the god of destiny and nature and the most powerful god. He had been selected as the head of the gods. Despite his power, he was very kind. Sometimes, he would roam like a normal human on this land, observing human lives closely. However, he mostly didn't interfere with human lives, as everyone had to face their destiny. Sometimes, Ming would accompany him simply to pass the time. One of those times, while they were both roaming in a forest near a beautiful waterfall, an arrow suddenly passed by the side of Jua's face. They saw a man with a veil over his face, holding a bow. Standing in front of them, Ming grew very angry and pushed the man, causing him to fall to the ground. He was about to strike the man but heard his father say, "Son, stop. He didn't aim at me with that arrow. He only killed a snake behind us, thinking it was going to bite me." After hearing his father, Ming stopped and extended his hand for the man to get up. However, the man didn't take Ming's hand and instead got up on his own. Ming said, "Sorry for my mistake. I thought you aimed at my father." Upon hearing this, the man removed the veil covering his face, revealing a very beautiful face that mesmerized Ming, as he had never seen such a beautiful person, not even among angels. While Ming was still in shock, the man said, "Next time, before pushing or beating someone, see what he has done without accusing him wrongly," and left without waiting for Ming's response. That was the first time Ming had met Noah. At that time, Noah didn't know that they were immortals, so he had only killed the snake because he didn't realize it wouldn't harm them. It was also the first time Ming had ever been interested in a human, and he didn't expect that they would meet again. Nor did he think that this person would change his life forever. End of flashback. In the evening, Even though Noah decided not to meet Ming for a few days, he still went to the kitchen to prepare some snacks. He wasn't in a good mood because of what Chen had told him in the morning. But of course, this was just an excuse. He didn't know why. But he wanted to see Ming's face. Maybe it was because of that weird dream. Or perhaps because he felt like he had known Ming for a long time. By the time Noah reached their meeting spot in the garden, Ming was already there, sitting on a stone bench with his back to Noah. Noah suddenly wanted to tease Ming. So he set the snack basket aside, sneakily went behind him, and was about to cover Ming's eyes with his hand. But within seconds, a hand stopped his action. Ming turned his head and saw his personal guard, Bao, holding Noah's arm tightly. Ming looked at him and said with a smile that was anything but friendly, "Bao. My good friend. May I know what you were doing?" This made Bao shiver with fear. And beads of sweat started to form on his face. He immediately released Noah's hand and said with a trembling voice, "Your major, ahem. I mean Lord. I saw concubine Noah sneaking up on you and thought he was going to harm you. Sorry for my mistake, Lord." Ming saw Noah's confused expression and Bao's doubtful gaze, and explained, "Oh, Noah. You don't know who he is, right? He's a palace guard and also like a friend to me. Bao, be careful from now on. This is your last chance." He signaled with his eyes for Bao to leave, but Bao didn't understand Ming's intention and continued standing there. Emperor's eunuch Nai, who was hiding behind a bush, thought, "This Bao knows only how to protect the emperor. He doesn't understand how to read the situation and has no romantic sense at all. Even though His Majesty is signaling him to leave, he is still standing there, disturbing the couple. I think he's destined to live single." Nai came to Bao's rescue, who didn't know what to do, and said, "Greetings, Lord. Greetings, concubine Noah. Sorry for disturbing your conversation, but His Majesty ordered me to bring guard Bao immediately. Please excuse my rudeness." Without waiting for their reply, Nai dragged Bao away and both of them went into hiding. Now only Noah and Ming were left in the garden. Noah brought the snacks he had cooked, and while Ming was eating, Noah's attention drifted to Ming's lips, which were tenderly eating the snacks. Unknowingly, he remembered his recurring dream of kissing Ming. He wanted to check with Ming about that waterfall, to see whether it was part of previous Noah's memories, so he asked, "Hey Ming. Is there a waterfall near here? Have I been to that waterfall with you before?" Upon hearing this, Ming looked at Noah with a smile on his face, and his blue eyes brightened as if all his years of hard work had paid off. Seeing his bright blue eyes, Noah felt a strange connection with Ming, and his heart started to beat faster. Ming asked Noah, "Did you remember something related to that waterfall and me?" "Actually, I don't remember clearly, but I feel like I saw you playing the flute near a waterfall. And at that time I was beside you." Ming felt even happier. He finally found his Noah, the one he had been searching for all these years. How could he not be happy? He had previously had some doubts, but now he was certain. He had not visited a waterfall with previous Noah, nor had he played the flute in this lifetime. But in their past lives, they had always played near that waterfall. And sometimes, Ming had played the flute especially for Noah. He asked Noah again, "Have you only remembered watching me? And nothing else?" At this, Noah remained silent, and his hand unknowingly went to his lips. Ming saw this and immediately hugged Noah tightly and kissed him on the lips. At first, Noah tried to push Ming away with all his strength, but gradually he felt like he had tasted Ming's kiss several times before, and he began to respond. After a while, Ming finally released Noah, who was out of breath, and whispered in his ear, "In this lifetime I haven't touched a flute. And I've never been to any waterfalls with anyone. But I've especially played the flute for you near a waterfall several times. So try to remember our past as soon as possible. After saying this, Ming left happily, leaving a stunned Noah on the bench. On the other hand, a person who was on his way to meet Ming, having been informed by a eunuch that he was supposed to meet him in the garden to discuss some matters, saw this scene and felt both angry and sad at the same time. Who could it be? Except Changmin? Changmin angrily went to meet Ming, who had arranged everything in such a way that he could see both Noah and Ming meeting. Noah sat motionlessly on the bench for some time, then went to his room in a daze. Once he reached his room, he finally shouted, "You bloody Ming! How dare you take my first kiss?" After shouting loudly, he felt relieved, and his heart started beating normally. He simply lay down on his bed. There was a lot on his mind. This damn Ming, why did he take away my first kiss? I haven't even kissed a girl yet. More importantly, why did it feel like I had already kissed Ming several times? Why? And why did he say he was with me, but not the previous Noah? And asked me to remember him soon. Did he know I'm not the original Noah? Then why didn't he ask about it? Did we know each other before? But I've never seen him before in my world. Is he trying to manipulate me? But the dream felt real. Anyway, I need to be more careful from now on. And I need to remember if what he said is real. He then remembered the kiss again, and blushed without realizing it. Ming was in a good mood today, and was waiting for his friend to meet him in his study. As expected, Changmin arrived. And even though he was very angry, he didn't forget to greet his emperor. "Greetings, my dear emperor." "Oh, Changmin. Even though I've told you many times that there's no need for formalities between us as we are friends, you still won't listen to me. I already expected your visit and have asked Nai to send tea and dinner for us, so, have dinner here, and after that, we can go for a walk and talk about what we need to. As expected, your grace has planned everything perfectly. Alright, let's discuss things clearly." While they were talking, dinner was brought by the maids. However, neither of them were in the mood to eat, so they simply had a little and went outside for a walk. "Majesty, why did you do all this? Do you want to remind me that Noah is your concubine?" "No. Until today, I wasn't sure. But now I am. You can't win Noah's heart. So, I want to tell you to let go of Noah, as he is not the Noah you are in love with. He is the person I have loved for many years. As you are my friend, I don't want you to get hurt." "What do you mean by, he is not the Noah I love?" "Whoever the present Noah may be, it doesn't stop me from loving him. You also told me before that I can try whatever way I want to make Noah love me. As long as he doesn't love you, since Noah is still not in love with you, I hope you won't go back on your words. And also hope you won't do things like what you did today. I may be a loyal subject, but I will do anything for Noah's sake. As you are my friend, I have warned you. I won't go back on my words, so don't worry. But don't cry after you lose to me. It's not clear who is going to lose, so we can't say who will cry." God Jua is very leisurely and free now. After the evil spirit Shan, who had caused all kinds of disasters, was sealed with great difficulty by his son, for which he is very proud. He is also happy that his son has finally found the person he had been desperately searching for. But they still haven't become close at all. So, Jua wanted to help his son and give a push to Ming and Noah's relationship. Noah was sleeping in his room peacefully. Suddenly he woke up because of some sweet smell in the air. And also he felt very hot and he started feeling something different which he has never experienced before. Because in modern world, even though he is teenager, he don't have time to think about romance and stuff like that. Till now it is very cool in his room, he don't know why it became hot suddenly. He wanted to go and open the windows, but his body is not listening to him at all. He is sweating a lot. All this is because of God Jua. As he has mixed love potion, which he has received from love God for saving his life once. His precious treasure, crying smiley. Which he has mixed in the burning incense in Noah's room. It will work as drug, and if two people make out in that effect, they will love each other forever. Suddenly, some eunuch, who knows from where, came into Ming's study. Greeted Ming, who is deeply involved in his work. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am from Concubine Noah's palace. By listening Noah's name, Ming raised his head and looked at the eunuch and asked him to rise. Your Majesty, Concubine Noah is not feeling well. And it looks like it is very serious. We don't know what to do. Go and call Imperial Doctor immediately. By saying this, he immediately went in the direction of Noah's chamber. Without thinking much about the eunuch. As he is in a hurry and now and guard Bao followed him. In study after Ming left. God Jua, who is none other than the eunuch with an evil grin, thought the doctor needed for Noah right now is you. And disappeared. Dia. Who was in a half-sleep mode. In the front room of Noah's chamber. Woke up by the sound of hurried footsteps. And was startled by the sudden visit of Emperor. And greeted Emperor in a daze. Emperor didn't even look at her. And entered into Noah's room without any announcement. Immediately after entering into Noah's room, he inhaled that strong sweet-smelling incense. And covered his nose with a hand. He understood that something was wrong with this incense. As expected, he saw Noah, who was rolling on the bed. And his face is beet red. And is sweating a lot. He immediately put off the incense with some water. And went near Noah. Even though there is no love potion smell now, Noah still has its effect. So when he saw Ming, he dragged Ming onto his bed. And kissed him passionately. And started removing his dress and said, Ming. My dear Ming, how can anyone be so good-looking? You also have nice body. Ming, I am feeling so hot. Please help me. It is so hot. While saying this, Noah has already removed Ming's dress. And thrown it onto the floor. Ming tried to control Noah. So he tightly hugged Noah, which made it unable to move for Noah. And he whispered, Noah, you are not doing it with consciousness. It is drug effect. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you without your consent. Bite on my shoulder. So that you will feel somewhat relieved. Noah bit Ming's shoulder. Until blood started coming out. Finally he cooled down. And he fell asleep. Ming laid him on bed and, as Noah is still hot, he asked maids to bring some cool water. And wiped his body. And after dressing Noah, he slept by hugging Noah. That night Noah has strange dream about their past lives. Next day morning, Ming woke up early like daily, and completed daily activities. And after taking bath, he went to his study. To complete unfinished work. His father appeared in front of him. And was about to ask Ming about last night. But was stopped by Ming's words, Father. I was expecting you. As expected, it was your work. Why did you use love potion on Noah? Why ask? Obviously it is to help you, you know that. I don't like this kind of methods. And there is no need to use love potion on Noah. As we are already lovers, but Noah don't remember anything now, he will surely remember everything. And will surely come to me. Willingly Onade, don't worry my son. I know that you won't do anything to Noah. I simply wanted him to love you soon. So I did it, hoping at least with some physical contact. And your good nature, he will feel something. Did you see the effect? After biting you when you started to bleed, there are tears in Noah's eyes. And his face became sad, yeah. I too saw it. And felt very sad. And happy by seeing Noah crying for me. Wait, how did you know that he has cried? Are you peeping at us? You my good father. Before Ming do anything. God Jua disappeared with. Sorry dear son, I was too anxious, word. In previous lives, Noah was the only son of Sura, who had recently attained immortality and become the new god of justice and punishment. Sura was a good person by nature. However, when Noah was still just a few months old, Sura received an order from Jua, Ming's father, to fight against the demon clan. Since it was a difficult fight that might take many months, Sura asked Jua for help in looking after his son. There was a spy from the demon clan working as a small worker in Sura's home. When the spy learned that Sura was going to war, he kidnapped Noah. By the time Jua received news and attempted to follow the spy, the kidnapper had already left the baby in a remote hut and fled to escape the soldiers sent by Jua. Though the spy was found and interrogated, they couldn't determine Noah's location. At the same time, Sura, who was at war, learned of his son's kidnapping and was consumed by negative energy, which he had always been in contact with. As the god of judgment and punishment, overcome by this negative energy, Sura fought with both gods and demons. Many gods lost their lives in this war, and as a result, many gods grew angry with Sura. He lost his position as a god, but he continued searching for his son. Noah was raised by a poor man, who found him in the hut. Noah also took care of many orphans. And Ming, who had been severely injured in a fight, was accidentally found by Noah. Whenever Ming was in danger, he was always saved by Noah, as if they were destined to be together. Over time, they both fell in love with each other. After many years of searching for his son, Sura became lost, and his will was damaged. He wandered the streets aimlessly and was taken in by Noah, who saw him as a poor soul in need of help. Gradually, Sura lost much of his negative energy and began to regain his powers while staying with Noah. During this time, Ming also visited Noah occasionally, and he saw Sura. Ming suspected that Sura was not just an old man, but he didn't inform Noah, as he didn't appear to be a bad person. On the other hand, Sana, the daughter of the goddess of love and mercy, was in love with Ming. She would often follow him, and discovered that he was in love with Noah, which made her jealous of Noah. One time, while following Ming, Sana saw that Sura had recognized Noah as his lost son. When he saw the birthmark on Noah's back, after his shirt was torn by a sharp piece of wood, Sana did not know that Sura had once been a god. She told her mother that she was in love with Ming and wanted to marry him, but did not mention Ming's love for Noah. The goddess of love and mercy, Rithi, was happy about her daughter's decision and immediately went to Jua to discuss the marriage between Ming and Sana. Jua was also pleased with the idea, but wanted to know his son's opinion on the matter. He told Rithi that he would inform her after consulting his son. Rithi felt this was reasonable and went back to her home. At home, Rithi informed her daughter of the conversation. In return, Sana told Rithi about Ming's love for Noah and asked for her help. However, her mother, not being a negative character, simply told her daughter to stop thinking about Ming, as she couldn't do anything to separate a couple whose love was pure. Sana was not satisfied with her mother's answer. Sana then asked her friend, Chaya, for help in separating Noah and Ming. Although Chaya was Sana's friend, she was older and had seen Sura when he was a god. She had also lost her closest brother in that war because of Sura. So, when they went to meet Noah, Chaya saw Sura and became very angry. She immediately took Sana with her and told her everything that had happened in the previous battle, also informing her about the gods who had lost loved ones because of Sura. The gods, collectively angry, attacked Sura while he was alone hunting. After an intense fight, Sura was seriously injured. Noah, hearing the sounds of the battle from the direction his father had gone, thought his father was in danger and rushed to help. When Noah tried to aid Sura, the gods realized that he was Sura's son. They wanted Sura to feel the same pain they had. So they told Noah that if he wanted his father to be left alone, he would have to face 90 thunder strikes, which would most likely result in his death. Despite the danger, Noah accepted the challenge. Sura tried to stop him, but Sanaa, who wanted to remove Noah, didn't want to miss this opportunity. She tried to use her spiritual weapon to at least make Sura lose consciousness for a while. However, during the process, she was struck by one of Sura's powerful blows. Sanaa was seriously injured, as though she might die at any moment. Rethi, upon receiving the news, immediately rushed to the location. When she saw her daughter's condition, she became furious with Noah, blaming him for all of this. In her anger, she cursed Noah, saying that he would never have the love of his life. Afterward, she left with her daughter. At that moment, Sura was still unconscious. And even though Noah was devastated, he didn't have time to console himself, as the remaining gods were waiting for him to receive the thunder strikes. Meanwhile, Ming was discussing his love with his father, when Jua suddenly received information about a fight between some gods. They immediately went to stop the conflict. But by the time they arrived, Noah had already endured 50 thunder strikes, and his spirit was almost completely damaged. Ming stopped the thunder strikes first, and Jua saw the unconscious Sura and understood what may have happened. Jua explained the issue to Ming, reprimanded the remaining gods, and punished them by reducing their positions. However, since Noah hadn't fulfilled his promise, the gods were still very angry with Sura. So, Ming told them that he would face the remaining 40 strikes in Noah's place, and that the gods should stand by their words and not touch Noah or Sura again. While Ming was enduring the strikes, Sura regained consciousness. Without thinking about anything, he immediately searched for Noah. When he found Noah unconscious, he escaped to a remote planet in another universe to save Noah and to cure himself. After completing the thunder strikes, Ming, despite being a very powerful god, had lost some of his cultivation, and it took him some time to regain consciousness. His first priority was to search for Noah, and he discovered that Noah had been taken away by Sura. He also wanted to find out what had happened to Sanaa and about the curse placed on Noah. Ming then went to Rethi to check on Sanaa. He hoped to reduce Rethi's anger so that she could lift the curse on Noah. When Ming arrived, Sanaa was still unconscious, and Rethi was desperately searching for ways to save her. Ming assessed her condition and used 50% of his cultivation to save Sanaa. Rethi was extremely happy and told Ming that, in her anger, she had made a bad decision. She couldn't take the curse back. But there was a remedy. If Ming could find Noah and make him fall for him again within 120 years, the curse would be lifted, as if he had overcome a love tribulation. Both Ming and Noah would regain their powers and ascend to the next level of cultivation. Ming thanked Rethi and left to search for Noah. Since Ming had lost most of his cultivation, he couldn't use all of his powers to search for Noah. He searched almost every planet that could potentially harbor life. Finally, after 115 years, while residing on a planet as one of the land's emperors, he found someone who looked like Noah and had the same name. However, Ming observed that the soul within the body was not Noah's. Still, as he had found Noah's body, he was certain that Noah's soul would eventually return to it. This was the last year within the time limit given to him, and as expected, Noah's soul returned to his body. Meanwhile, Sura, who had taken Noah to a remote planet, tried to reattach Noah's broken soul. After nearly 97 years of continuous effort, he managed to save Noah's soul. However, it needed to be nurtured in a body capable of sustaining it. After a long search, Sura found a baby whose soul was about to die, but had a great positive body. Sura transferred Noah's soul into this body and blessed the unfortunate soul of that body who was going to die, to have a better life in its next incarnation. At the same time, Noah's original body also needed to be recovered. Sura turned it into a baby and asked his only student, Ekaksh, to grow Noah's body by staying in it for a few years. Ekaksh had been taught cultivation by Sura due to his determination and great energy. He had become semi-immortal in a short time. Sura promised Ekaksh that he would protect Ekaksh's body, while Ekaksh's soul was in Noah's body, so, the person who had been in Noah's body all this time was actually Ekaksh. Sura then found a suitable family and replaced a dead baby with Noah's body, in which Ekaksh's soul resided. Present timeline, Noah, who had lost his parents at a young age, found great care from Ming. Without realizing it, he fell in love with Ming. After Ming found Noah, he dismissed all his concubines and allowed them to marry anyone they wished. Even though Ming had stayed in some of their rooms, he had always kept a distance and slept in a separate bed, sending them healthy soup in the mornings to make everyone believe they had spent time together. Ming had previously avoided arguing with his ministers about marriage, needing their support to gain power in court, while he focused most of his time on searching for Noah. A few days later, Noah also began to remember his past life. Since they had overcome their love tribulation, both Ming and Noah regained their powers. They spent the remaining 100 years of their human lives happily together. After returning to the divine realm, they married as gods, with Ming taking Jua's position and Noah taking Sura's. Noah also gave birth to twins, a son and a daughter, and Jua spent his retirement time happily with them. Sura, on the other hand, wished to spend his time helping mortals and immortals in need, hoping to reduce his guilt for accidentally killing a few gods. Changmin, however, discovered that the current Noah was not the Noah he had known from childhood. He also noticed someone had been secretly following him recently, and that person's movements resembled Noah's. Changmin decided to find out the truth about his Noah and learn his opinion of Changmin. One day, when he was alone, Changmin called out to the person who was secretly following him to come out and speak with him, as they had spent time together when they were young. Finally, Ekaksh appeared, and the two discussed many things. Since they both loved each other, they got married. Ekaksh also taught Changmin about cultivation, and they both became immortals, serving Noah and Ming as their personal advisors and bodyguards. Finale happy ending to all. If you like this story, please do like and subscribe.